How's it going, everybody? It's Stock Picks by Tim here, and in today's video I want to look at Sphere 3D. We do have an 8K regarding their investor presentation. Someone in the comments let me know about this, so thanks to you. But we're going to look at this. They have a bear case, a bull case, and their base case. So we're going to look at that. We're going to look at the chart. We're also going to look at Bitcoin. It is cooling off a little bit, but I wouldn't be too concerned. And I'm just going to go over a couple of things Sphere 3D related. Now, if you like these types of videos, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It definitely helps me out, tells me you like these types of videos. Consider checking out the links down below for some stocks and cryptos. And let's look at a couple things. Now, this was on their 8K, posted 127. And first off, when they applied for this, the market cap was 31 million. Now the market cap's right around 26 million. But regardless, really low market cap, enterprise value of 91 million. And yeah, right now the share price is something like 39 cents. So this is a little bit different, but still I think that's very interesting that their enterprise value is so much higher than their market cap. Of course, there are risks with this company. It's not profitable, but currently where it's at, it does seem to have some value. And another great thing to see is they are debt free. They will likely acquire debt as they grow in their mining production and stuff like that, but it is good to see that they are currently debt free. They do have 16,186 miners that they own. Currently, they have 3,555 miners hashing, giving them a 0.36 exahash. And they did get their shipment of their other miners. They have another 11,853 that just landed. They still have to give them power, and they are expecting to do this in this first quarter here. So that's definitely great news for Sphere 3D. They currently do have $1.7 million in Bitcoin that they have been mining. And in 2022, they did mine 131 Bitcoin. I think this number this year is going to grow exponentially, and that's definitely going to be a good thing to see for Sphere 3D. God, that's a tongue twister, I swear. And we've got their projected hash rate growth by April of 2023. They expect to be at right around 1.6 exahash. I definitely want to see that exahash growth, and that will be a very good thing for Sphere 3D. You know, as updates come in, that could definitely raise the share price. But be aware there are risks. You know, there was a notification by the NASDAQ and it was extended already, so they are very likely to do a reverse split. If you're a long-term believer in this company, that's not necessarily a bad thing. They just have to maintain compliance with the NASDAQ, and it is potentially a short-term headwind for them. I do see a great buying opportunity over the next 3 to 6 months if you're willing to take that risk. But just be aware that, you know, it has to more than double up to reach $1. It's very likely they're either going to have a 1 to 3 reverse split or even a 1 to 5 reverse split, something of that nature. And you know, the only thing seen as bad about that is obviously that means the share price has been dropping. That's seen as a negative because the company hasn't been growing in price, it's been dropping in price. Wall Street is scared of that. Reverse splits are seen typically as bad. But like I said, if you have conviction in this, then hey, I guess it's a buying opportunity, right? As I said before, I personally will wait until it goes up a bit. I just see better risk to reward profile. And yeah, I might miss out on another 20, 40, 50% gain even, whatever, what have you. But that also takes a lot of risk in my eyes off the table by waiting for it to be up a little bit higher. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. I know for me, if I buy later on, the gains might not be as much. But to me as well, I see less risk in doing that. And here are their different scenarios. We have a bear case, a bull case, and their base case scenario. And this is all at a different Bitcoin price. So if you think Bitcoin is going to grow in price to 30,000, that will put Sphere 3D's percentage of hash rate to the overall network at 0.5%, just based on their projections here. A monthly Bitcoin mined of 135. Quarterly 405, annually 1,622. And looking at their downside case, if Bitcoin's at 15,000, their percentage of their hash rate will actually be bigger because potentially if Bitcoin's price goes down, it could take some miners out of the space. As we know, you know, throughout the time that Bitcoin was 15,000 in November, you know, that area of time, Sphere 3D was continuing to mine Bitcoin. So I think if Bitcoin does pull back, it's not all bad for Sphere 3D, and it actually gives them a larger percentage of the network hash rate. But of course, they would be pulling in less revenue with Bitcoin's price lower. Monthly, 2.5 million, quarterly, 7.6 million, and annually, 30.4 million. Pulling in close to 2,000 Bitcoin. They would actually be expecting to pull in more Bitcoin on this downside case. So you can look at that in a positive way. You know, if Bitcoin does pull back, it means that Sphere 3D can acquire more Bitcoin. And while they are at a lower price, you know, as Bitcoin goes up over the coming months, years, you know, that's my expectation at least. That could be a good thing for Sphere 3D if Bitcoin does go down in price for the short term, being that they can just mine more and potentially make more in the future if they do hold their Bitcoin, which they have been seeming to do that. Now we also have a base case, a Bitcoin right around 20,000. Their Bitcoin mine would be slightly less than at a $15,000 Bitcoin, but their monthly revenue would be a bit more. Makes perfect sense, right? So either way, in my eyes, wherever the Bitcoin goes, you know, whether it's the upside case of 30,000, the downside case of 15,000, or just the base case of 20,000, things can definitely be looking pretty good for Sphere 3D as they grow their hash rate as expected to 1.6 exahash by the end of this quarter. Now, there are definitely some other slides on this investor presentation, so I will leave it down below for you, but I just wanted to go over a couple of the main things. But it's nice to see, that Sphere 3D has 3 different scenarios. They already have a strategy. They already have a plan in place. We have been seeing nice exahash growth. And this quarter, when we get our update on these mining rigs actually going and hashing, this will dramatically increase their hash rate from where they're currently at, meaning that their monthly Bitcoin updates are going to be better and better and better. Also, their quarters obviously are going to be better and better and better. And as we get into the next Bitcoin bull run, and Bitcoin just starts getting a blow off top, going back to previous highs, even breaking those highs, potentially going into the 100,000s. I know it sounds crazy, but potentially by 2025 we could be there. That could flip Sphere 3D to profitability, but it is still definitely an uphill battle to climb. Now, another uphill battle to climb, Sphere 3D's stock price. It has definitely been a long downtrend over the year, as have most miners, to be fair, but they definitely have a lot of climbing to do. And one thing you'll notice right now is it does seem like they're finding resistance on the 200 MA. We didn't get that 200 MA flip, which for technical traders is a very bullish sign to see that flip. Well, we didn't see that with Sphere 3D yet, but all hope is not lost. Just keep an eye on it and see that we can actually flip this as a support, the 200 MA. It does look like we broke our little uptrend here. And moving forward, it's going to be important to watch both the 50 and the 100 EMA, and that also sets it right at a support level that was previously a resistance right here, this 36 cents. We popped out of it, we bounced off of it as a support. I think we are going to test this level. If we break it, we might pull back some more. Watch it to bounce that 36 cents mark and continue higher. And obviously Bitcoin's price is going to play a huge role in where Sphere 3D goes over the coming months, even years. But short term, with Bitcoin, we are seeing a little pullback today. I wouldn't be too worried. I mean, we're still in this general uptrend. We might bounce off the 50 EMA. We might pull back, test the green one, which is the 100. Now, as I said in my last video, I do see support here right around 22,300 area. But keep an eye on this. It may turn into kind of a broadening pattern, putting a little bit of fear in people. If we do break this support, we might just bounce right here. People sell off, and then suddenly we bounce, and people are like, why did I sell off? We just broke this support. Well, that's because it might be a broadening formation or broadening pattern. It does seem like it's kind of playing that kind of nature where we're getting these kind of higher highs. So just watch to see if we get some lower lows as we create higher highs and kind of, get more volatility in Bitcoin. It's very possible as we get the Fed meeting coming up. Of course, we have large cap earnings. Could be a very volatile time, a lot of movement in both Bitcoin and the stock market, giving us a wide price range. But looking at Bitcoin in its last little consolidation, it was kind of in this upward consolidation until it finally just broke out. So keep an eye on this. Keep an eye on this 24,000. If we do hit 24,000, we're very likely to break higher. And one thing that you may find hard to believe is in the peak of 2021, this was an $8 stock. It literally found resistance at $8. It has dropped so much that it is now down nearly 97%. That is the nature of high-risk small caps. And can it go back to $8? I think it's definitely possible over time. It's obviously not 100% guaranteed. But this was also during the time of this Griffin merger that was terminated and caused an absolute sell-off. Of course, Bitcoin's price coming down contributed to that as well. But in late 2022 and now in early 2023, it does seem like Sphere 3D is making some great moves in Bitcoin mining production. And we have been seeing a general uptrend in their monthly production of Bitcoin mined. So hopefully that trend remains and we keep seeing Sphere 3D push out more Bitcoin month by month. But I'm curious, what do you guys think about this one? It is definitely a very high risk but very high reward stock. And there are many ways to play this. Do you want to just wait for an uptrend on the charts, ride the momentum and set a stop loss? That's definitely one way. Are you a long-term investor? Are you just going to buy throughout all the pain? It all depends on your risk tolerance and your conviction for the stock. But I'm always curious about your opinion. Thanks as always for watching and have a good day.